I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I have been doing a series of lectures on the dynamism of wealth. One of the things I find very distressing is when I see children from elite, wealthy, influential, and powerful homes or families living less than what they are supposed to be. Some of them even living wretchedly. As I said, wealth is very fluid, very dynamic. If one generation accumulates wealth from influence, authority, control, skills, intelligence, productivity, and positions in their own lifetime, if circumstances change and the influence they had and those who enabled them to have that influence are no longer there, the tendency is that the continuous flow of money will stop. That's the problem why African politicians want to stay in power for life. That's why Nigerian politicians are always contesting elections. Of all the money they pay them, you will think that a normal human being would, after 1 or 2 tenures or stays, will go and rest. No. While they are in office, they cultivate this conspicuous consumption, extravagance, promiscuity, drunkenness, recklessness, and speculative spending of money. So immediately they leave office, everything goes down. And a lot of the patronage they get is corruption. People like those who have worked in customs, if they are not able, customs, police, the army in positions where they get a gunje, immigration, civil servants, where they get bribes and whatever. If the man uses that money to build a residence, build 1 or 2 businesses, if that continuous flow of money is not there, the business will collapse. And because the children did not learn the skills to generate that money will not last long. So the next thing is that when a man even legitimately earns money, the tendency is that the children are over-pampered. They are given what they cannot afford. I remember when I was in school, my schoolmates would say, my driver is coming to collect me. Your driver? Can you pay a driver? It's your father's driver. It's not your driver. So they carry this air in their heads of my driver, my cook, my this. And they are not the ones generating the revenue. They don't even know how it is gotten. Some of us, our children will not dare join us in our workplace to do whatever we are doing. So that I mean those who are not civil servants. My daughter runs my school because she knows the nitty-gritty. She started teaching there from very early. So, if parents don't introduce their children to their businesses early, making them feel that they are still children, you will end up training workers and servants that will eventually open businesses that will compete with your own and outpace your business because they have more experience, they have more connections, they know the tricks of running the business. So if you don't want your money, your family business to collapse, train your children, teach them how to do the business. Then some of these children grow up, they marry wives who think that they have married into a bank with an unlimited supply of money. So they cultivate rubbish appetite. You want to go to Dubai for birthday, you want to go to France, you want to go to the Caribbean. So I know children of rich men who were junketing from place to place when their fathers were alive, and immediately after their fathers died, who are broke. The next thing they do is they start selling land, selling buildings, selling businesses. The next thing is that some of them cultivate bad habits of taking hard drugs, bad habits of gambling, bad habits of reckless entertainment. One other thing that destroys family wealth is wrong marriages. When you marry wrongly, you must not. Rich people do gene pool selection. They marry into families that are already established. So they synchronize their energies to complement each other to achieve greater heights. One other thing is that some of these children from elite families can be very rude, reckless, rascally, unattentive in school, and then they won't do well academically. And if they don't do well academically, they cannot outcompete other people from poor backgrounds who have risen through the ranks and done well academically and in great positions. Sometimes families that refuse to innovate and cope with new development. You see, Nokia just went out of the market. If they refuse to innovate, develop, improve, and catch up with developmental trends, will go down. One other problem is polygamy. When you have so many wives, they compete to get their own fair share of the father's cake. The resultant effect is that the tower is torn down to small rubbles. But in the Islamic families, this hardly happens. Because as I said in other videos, they build this family business together. They have a cultural attitude to enterprise. You see, like Kano has been a trading post for years, a trading center for centuries. The trans-Saharan trade routes have been on for years. Arab communities, Middle Eastern communities, commerce is part of their lifestyle. That's why Sabancı Foundation in Turkey pays 5% of the annual tax of Turkey, and the family business is still on for years. That's why the Baghdad ice cream parlor is still producing ice cream in Damascus since 1895. So, Jewish families, the same thing. If we see wealth as something that is created, is contained, is continuous, and a responsibility, then children coming up are taught early how to manage resources, grow family businesses, sustain family businesses. If not, the next generation will crumble everything that the first generation built. May that not be your portion in Jesus' name. Train your children, groom your children, let them know the techniques of making money and how to sustain it and how to grow it. God bless you. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Send me a message on +234 7052 136763.